We have seen a spate of good news on the economic front in the recent past. This comes as a relief after the bitter months of the second COVID wave. On the one hand, sales tax collections and demand for some commodities might be signaling a rebound. On the other, the drop in the unemployment rate and a rebound in manufacturing activity have also added to the signs of a nascent recovery in the economy. All of this comes on the back of a gradual easing of lockdowns and the decline in the number of COVID cases in large parts of the country. Taken together, all these developments raise an important question. Has the Indian economy struck a purple patch? But before we can answer that question, let us first delve into the indicators we have at our disposal. To start with, a lower than expected decline in economic activity during the second wave has helped government finances. Consequently, the union government finds itself in a comfortable position compared to last year, when revenue collection had virtually collapsed. Data released by the Controller General of Accounts last week showed that the fiscal deficit in the first quarter of the current financial year stood at 18.2% of the budget estimates, compared with 83.2% in the corresponding period last year. The government was able to contain the deficit largely because of a better revenue collection. Tax collection at 4.12 trillion rupees was 26.7% of the BE. The government has also benefited from a higher than expected surplus transfer from the Reserve Bank of India. Consequently, it attained over 50% of the full year non-tax revenue target in the first 3 months itself. In fact, the numbers suggest that revenue collection could exceed the budget targets. There was more good news on the GST front. Official data showed that the goods and services tax collection recovered to a 3-month high in July, exceeding the 1.1 trillion rupee mark. According to data released by the Finance Ministry, the GST mop-up in July stood at 1,16,393 crore rupees, against 92,849 crore rupees in June. The PMI reading also corroborated the upswing in other parameters of the economy. The IHS Market Purchasing Managers Index said that manufacturing activity in India rebounded to a 3-month high in July. The index rose to 55.3 in July from 48.1 in June. Meanwhile, the country's jobless rate fell to the lowest level in 4 months in July. According to the latest CMIE data, the unemployment rate dropped to 6.95% last month from 9.17% the previous month. Auto sales, a key indicator of the macroeconomy, also showed significant growth in July. Passenger vehicle volumes improved on the back of a healthy order book and an uptick in inquiries and bookings in urban and rural areas. Clearly, these economic indicators paint a rosy picture. So have we hit a purple patch? The opinion seems to be divided on what we can look forward to.
Yes, I think it's a beginning of a good phase for the Indian economy. When was the last time that you saw so many good news come together in a bunch? So I think the recovery process has begun in the right earnest. It was not just a super Sunday for PV Sindhu, who got the second Olympic medal, but also for our economy in many ways. Our GST numbers came, which crossed the 1 trillion mark after some time, and then we got the numbers from the automobile sector. Automobile sales numbers also soared. Then the following day, there was numbers from aviation sector. The number of passengers that Indian Airlines flew, that was about 75% of the pre-pandemic time. That I think is excellent. And also the PMI index numbers came, which showed that, after 15 months or so, manufacturing sector had stopped shedding jobs. That I think is a big indicator of how the economy is moving. Now I think it's a start, and we will go forward in this direction. Ahead of the festival time, I think this is again a very good indication that these numbers have come, which shows that consumer demand will be on an uptick, and which is only very good for the country. While the numbers are positive and optimistic, what is important is we must watch out for the vaccination numbers. Only if the pace of vaccination is good and steady and goes up considerably, only then will the economic recovery be successful. Otherwise, we won't go much. On the whole, I think the economic recovery will depend a lot on how the pace of vaccination goes. The pace of vaccination has to go up significantly for the economy good news to sustain.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, we must consider that there are some worrying signs that also merit our attention.
There is no doubt that the government finances in the first quarter of 2021-22, which is April-June 2021, have done exceedingly well. Fiscal deficit is substantially down compared to what it was in the first quarter of 2020-21. And this is because tax revenues have gone up. But there are some worrying signs even in this rather positive scenario. The first worrying sign is that the growth in tax revenues has been possible largely because of direct taxes, and direct taxes represent the organized sector of the economy, where the corporation tax revenues have done very well. This is the organized sector. Similarly, the personal income tax are paid by those who earn a salary above a certain level. Now, clearly, they have paid more tax. So, what this tax revenue increase led, fiscal deficit correction or fiscal deficit reduction, shows the much dreaded trend of a K-shaped recovery, where one leg of the K is moving upwards and perhaps the other leg of the K is moving downwards, about which we don't have much data. That data will be available some months, some years probably later, when you get the full NSSO survey on household incomes, on poverty levels. So therefore, to celebrate that the government finances have done well because tax revenues are doing well is not taking a holistic view. That is point number one. But even when you look at these government revenue number, you realize that one category, which is the non-tax revenue, which has done very well. It is gone up by a very, very significant margin. Now, this non-tax revenue increase is mainly because of the government and the Reserve Bank of India agreement to get a higher share of dividend to be transferred to the central exchequer. Now, this will not happen every year. So therefore, the non-tax revenue bump that we are seeing in the first quarter is not a sustainable increase. So therefore, we need to be conscious of it.
While those were the major points Mr. Bhattacharya raised, he also listed two more areas of concern. According to him, another worrying sign is about the nature of expenditure. Capital expenditure increase has to take place at a higher pace so that the government continues to spend in creating capital assets at a time when the private sector is not able to grow its investments. Yet another concern is the manner in which the government has failed to take full advantage of a rally in the stock market to give a fillip to disinvestment. It is abundantly clear that much still depends on how the pandemic behaves. Above all, in the immediate term, getting more vaccine shots into more arms should be our first priority. Meanwhile, it is also clear that though the revenue situation has improved this year, the government still has a long way to go to secure India's fiscal health.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.